like to take a moment and introduce Leslie Holmes, Bill Kitchen's wife, and Bill's brother, Mike, who are going to speak on behalf of Bill.
Well, it's tough to match those two speeches, but well done and congratulations. Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank everyone for being here. Also like to thank the committee for the induction of Bill into the case of distinction. Our family is honored and very privileged to be at this event. Bill was born October 2nd, 1960, third child in a family of 4, Keith being the 6 years younger than Bill. Although Bill was born 3 years younger than Kathy and myself, he never skipped a beat and was always hot on our heels. Bill had a real zest for life and a wicked fun sense of humor. He was never hesitant to color outside the lines and live life to his fullest, looking for bigger and better adventures, which he would find in Ottawa. Bill left home when he was drafted by the Ottawa 67s at the age of 17, where he played for 3 years. Bill embraced the community, the culture, and everything Ottawa had to offer. He made long life friends and eventually chose the capital of Canada to be his home. Bill went undrafted in the NHL, but signed as a free agent with the Montreal Canadiens in 1979 and then with the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1984. Unfortunately, after 29 games in Toronto in the 84-85 season, he broke his jaw with a deflected puck in practice. Bill ended up playing one more season in St. Catharines before retiring. Bill and I were able to play one pro game against each other. I remember purposely coming off the point to the front of their net, where Bill repeatedly cross-checked me in the back and wouldn't allow me to set up shop. This was where Bill's aggressive, competitive nature was coming out, as I had mentioned earlier. There were 2 coaches, Brian Kilray in his junior days, John Brophy in his pro days, that had a big impact on Bill's life. With their strong structure and leadership, they were able to somewhat, I say somewhat, harness Bill's enthusiastic and spirited energy. After Bill's hockey playing days, he ventured into the insurance business. A few years later, he was looking for a new adventure and got involved in Tim Horton franchises, which his wife Leslie operates today. On that note, I'll pass it over to Leslie.
Sorry, so Mike and I live in different cities, so I think we might cover some of the same aspects. So, as Bill's family, we could not be more thrilled that he's being recognized for his athleticism and honored in the Case of Distinction induction ceremony here at King City. Bill only attended the school from 74 to 76, but true to his legacy, he is still remembered, and that brings a warm smile to all our faces. In his short time at King's, he held the GBSSA outdoor midget hurdle record in 100 meters and 50-meter indoor hurdle records. He was also a member of the 4x100 midget relay that finished 3rd at OFSA, 1st at GBSSA, and 1st in York County. And no one's really sure if he doesn't still hold those records. No one can tell us. So,
Yes.
yes. Bill was happiest when he was involved with sports and being part of a team. He often said, "There are many more talented guys than me, but I'm a bullhead and stubborn." I went back to his best buds and asked them for their favorite stories about Bill. The first one really showed this stubborn streak. Prior to his OHL draft year, Bill was playing a game against the Aurora Tigers when he got into a fist fight with one of the opposing team players. As the fight ensued and the gloves came off, it became apparent that Bill had a cast on his right hand, recovering from a broken wrist. Despite the pain, Bill continued to flail away and stood toe-to-toe with his aggressor. Unbeknownst to Bill at the time, legendary coach of the Ottawa 67s, Brian Killer, was at the game that night and took an instant shine to Bill's toughness, durability, and defensive play. A few weeks later, at the conclusion of the season, Killer arrived at the Kitchen home in Schaumburg on a Sunday morning wanting to meet Bill's parents and asked permission to allow him to play up in Ottawa for the 67s. In typical Kitchen fashion, Bill Sr. pulled out 2 lawn chairs along with a pack of beer, and they sat on the front lawn chatting with Killer until an agreement was reached. Bill went on to play 3 stellar seasons with the 67s, including becoming the team captain. Also during this time, he represented Canada at the 1980 World Junior Championships held in Helsinki, Finland. Brian and Bill remained close friends right up until Bill's passing in 2012, leaving realms of laughter and good times in their wake. Killer's summation of Bill. And every time I practice this, I changed my voice, so I'll probably do it this time too. He wasn't fancy, he played a simple game. He got the puck he got the puck out, he owned the corners, and he owned the front of the net. He may have had cement hands, but he also had cement hands when he hit you. He could toss you out with both of them. Winners are made with players like Billy. See, I can hear it changing. I'm sounding like Brian. It never mattered to him what the score was. To him, we could always win, and he made everyone around him tougher. Dedication and discipline are the cornerstone of success in any field, and athletics is no exception. Bill was a successful athlete because of his strong work ethic and unwavering dedication to training practices and conditioning. He understood that consistent effort in the ground were the grounds for improvement, and he learned to be mentally tough. He cultivated a positive mindset, embracing fear as an opportunity to grow and learn. This tough mindset would serve him well later in life. Leaving the 67s in 1980, Bill furthered his hockey career, first playing for the Montreal Canadiens from 1980 to 84. Don't try to do too much, Kitch. That piece of advice was from Larry Robinson to Bill on a Saturday night NHL game at the Old Montreal Forum. In August of 84, Bill signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs as a free agent. This would prove to be the right decision, and he went on to have his most successful year in the NHL. He hung up his professional skates in '86, but was not to leave the hockey world. He stayed well connected to the hockey community and sat on the board for the Ottawa Senators alumni. His contribution to the community at least equaled what he accomplished as an athlete. He was a true philanthropist and had a heart of gold. I personally have never met anyone so involved in trying to make the world a better place. I learned so much from him and have tried to follow in his footsteps. At a moment's notice, he turned our home into a viewing tour to raise money for the local community center. And then, as quick as I would turn around, we were hosting a very exclusive dinner, private chefs and all, to raise money for cancer research. For Bill, it went beyond donating money to the cause. He had a mindset of compassion and empathy and a genuine desire to make a positive impact. And he continues to give. I was approached by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Together we have hosted Hockey for Hearts in his memory, which has raised an astonishing $500,000 to go towards research and placing defibrillators around the city for quick access. Bill took this winning attitude into the business world, along with his advice from Larry Robinson, don't do too much, Kitch. Bill was always focused on taking care of the small details. He said that was what made the difference between being good and being great. After retiring from hockey, Bill became a successful financial planner until we met, married, and decided to become Tim Hortons franchisees. Like hockey, how Canadian. Like on the ice, Bill thrived in this new environment. He was a successful entrepreneur because he possessed strong leadership skills and the ability to inspire and motivate our team. He made sure he surrounded us with talented individuals, of whom 20 years later, aside from a couple of retirements, are still together with me. We grew to 5 locations, of which his children have and some still do work at. And that brings us to his family and friends, whom he loved more than anything. He, of course, had his family here, Schaumburg, Aurora, Newmarket area, Mike and Keith, his brothers, and his love more than life sister, Kathy, his sister-in-laws, Jill and Jen, and his nieces, nephews, and now great-nephews. 2 of the most adorable identical twin boys that were actually born on Bill's birthday, and which one is lovingly named after. And he was fortunate enough to have 4 wonderful children of his own, ranging from 39 right down to 18. He fondly spoke of the wide age range, stating that That he had the energy but not the patience when he was young. When he was older, he had the patience but not the energy. These 4 siblings have followed in their father's footsteps with love of sport. Nicholas, the eldest, was a fantastic hockey player that his dad said had feather touch with the puck. Emily was a graceful and beautiful figure skater. Mackenzie currently runs cross country and track and field at Dalhousie University. And the youngest, Riley, is following her love for volleyball and trying out for varsity over in Wales. Now, I would be neglectful if I did not touch on his sense of fashion. Bill never met a paisley shirt he did not love, nor have a fear of pink, purple, or yellow. He felt cufflinks were a staple in every wardrobe. One of his other buds wrote me and said, "We knew what a great dresser Bill was. Whenever I had a suit on for a work meeting or big presentation, I always wear Bill's Hugo Boss cufflinks. I have a great collection of them, but only use Bill's when I have a big objective." Bill would be so proud to be receiving this recognition. As big and as boisterous as he was deeply humbled by moments of praise. What was bred into him back in 74 to 76 at this school carried on with him throughout his life. His love for sport never ceased, from his days of running hurdles to running marathons. Bill had everything it took to be successful in life, and successful he was.